There are 3 situations that I've found where you definitely don't want to promote your music because it's not going to turn out very good for you. I recently uploaded a video talking about my recent music promotion where I only spent $100 to promote my songs. I'll leave that video in a card right here if you haven't seen it yet. And after posting my results, I saw a lot of comments from musicians who fall into these 3 categories, and they shouldn't promote their music until these 3 incorrect mindsets are fixed. Starting with number 3, the mindset of expecting instant ROI from your marketing. When you market your music or you work on your music production, there's only one place to get ROI on your music efforts, and most musicians are looking in the wrong place. One commenter wrote, if you're not careful with spending too much money on your music production and promotion and everything, it can become a money pit. We all know that guy who has 80 guitars but is making 0 revenue with their music. And the same can be true with any category of your music career. And the prevailing narrative online and on other YouTube channels is that you're supposed to make income from your streams. In fact, one commenter wrote, I'm confused about the narrative surrounding ROI and streams. Here's the thing you need to understand for this mindset. Your return on investment does not come through streams. ROI comes through the brand that you build. In fact, one of my favorite definitions of brand that I teach my students is that your brand is you in motion. And being an artist in motion is how you make a presence in the lives of your fans, and that's so much more than just securing streams. And here's the thing, you'll never get that ROI if you focus on that day 0 ROI mindset. Day 0 ROI mindset is defined as making a return the very first day that someone is introduced to your brand. Let me repeat that again. You're making a profit on your very first introduction. And that's not realistic in music. That's not realistic in any industry and any business. Thankfully, this commenter got it right. He wrote, advertising on Spotify for a music artist isn't about short-term gains or making money directly from streams. Instead, it's about building a lasting presence and creating a foundation for a sustainable music career, aka a brand. The goal is to boost visibility, increase recognition within your genre, helping you connect with the right listeners and establish a strong fan base. He nails it right here. He says it's a strategic investment in your brand focused on career growth and long-term success rather than immediate revenue. I'm so glad someone gets it out there, because this short-term day 0 ROI mindset is the same thing as casting a short-term vision for your life, for your music. We all know that short-term vision is going to produce limited results. Think of it this way. You don't go to a studio, cut a vocal take, and then as you're leaving the vocal booth complain that it wasn't profitable, right? That's just ridiculous. Whether you're catalog building through recording music or audience building or brand building, all you're doing is creating assets that can be leveraged at the right time for your profit. And the difference between a limited day 0 ROI mindset and an asset building mindset is that assets have the property of compound interest. The more recordings you produce, the more your success compounds. The larger your audience, the more everything you do in the future will be multiplied through the principle of compound interest. Even the concept of growing through word of mouth literally follows the principle of compound interest. The more superfans you have that talk about you will spread the word to more superfans, and it'll snowball as it grows out of control. And this is true on every platform, on Spotify, on Instagram, on YouTube, in real life. It all comes down to the long-term brand impact you can establish around your music. And this is incompatible with that short-term day 0 ROI mindset. Instead, think of the long-term ROI you can establish as a brand. When you have an engaged group of listeners, fans that interact with you on social media, a mailing list of people who buy your stuff and attend your shows, and relationships with other artists who are on par with where you're at. Just think of the ROI potential each and every day once you've actually built something around your music. That's what ROI is all about. It doesn't come from streaming. It doesn't come from Distrokid. It comes from your brand. Next, number 2, if you're triggered by marketing, things are going to be tough for you. I saw that a lot of artists were getting triggered when I talked about using social media or paid ads or Spotify playlists to promote their music. This commenter said, just another dude selling a playlist scam. You're not going to buy real streams from a complete stranger. Don't you think if playlists work so well, this guy would just make his money off getting his music in playlists rather than selling it to you? All it takes is common sense to see this huge red flag. Don't be desperate and stupid. JS Sounds Music, I totally get where you're coming from. And by the way, this guy sells beats, so shout out to JS Sounds. While I agree, don't be desperate or stupid, it seems that he's still understanding the brand ROI thing that I mentioned earlier, as well as his logic is a bit off. As I just mentioned, you're an artist that sells beats to other artists. So by your logic, should I say, why don't you keep all your beats to yourself? If they're so good, why don't you just make songs with your beats? Why don't you keep all your beats for yourself if you're so talented? The reason, of course, is that it's okay to provide genuine value to others if you can deliver it. And that brings us to the sponsor of this video, LANDR. For the past 3 years, I've been recommending LANDR distribution to artists who need a professional suite of tools to produce, master, and distribute their music, all while retaining 100% of their music royalties. So when LANDR noticed my channel and asked to sponsor this video, I was more than happy to continue spreading the good news about LANDR distribution. They do so much more than just get your music onto streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, because with LANDR, you get everything you need to produce and release your music, including samples, plugins, unlimited distribution, and the world's best AI mastering engine. Plus, meet with your team anywhere in the world with real-time music collaboration software, and tap the talents of a community of pros to take your music to the next level. All of this is included inside of LANDR Studio. Now, if you already have a music distributor but you're looking to upgrade, LANDR accepts outside ISRC codes, so moving your catalog is a breeze. Plus, they will collect the YouTube Content ID royalties for all of your songs. So if you're thinking it's time to upgrade your distributor, then click the link in the description below to get 20% off your LANDR Studio account. And then you could cancel all those multiple subscriptions and enjoy everything you need to produce and release your music with LANDR Studio. Why don't you keep all your beats for yourself if you're so talented? The reason, of course, is that it's okay to provide genuine value to others if you can deliver it. I don't discount your talent for making beats, and most don't discount my talent for marketing. In fact, many artists are interested in these promotion methods because they're more reliable than posting on social media and give you a wider reach than performing live at local shows. In fact, it's usually the artists that don't perform live and don't invest in their long-term brand that seem to be the quickest to complain when it comes to promoting their music. The ones that don't promote very well seem to be the biggest critics. It's the same with organic content marketing. The artists that are humble, who genuinely want to create for others, are the most successful and get the most views because they're providing value to their fan base. But the artists that are entitled and are expecting the views and post self-serving promotional content that just serves their ego are the most frustrated because that's not the way to build relationships. And it's that same artist that says everything's a scam. Getting on a playlist is a scam. Setting up meta ads doesn't work. And I want to remind you that you are not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to any views just because you upload a video. You're not entitled to any streams just because you wrote a song. The same is true for you as it is for me. Nobody is entitled to free traffic. We all face the same challenge, whether paid, organic, influencer marketing, in-person shows, virtual concerts. Ask yourself honestly, how am I going to earn that traffic? Where will it come from? Nobody is entitled to it, and on this channel, I hope that I reveal different ways that you can earn and create traffic to your music and to your brand. Finally, number one, you're not going to secure a lot of traffic if you feel that promoting is evil or something. This is a recurring mindset that I see, and in fact, some commenters were surprised when I mentioned that Spotify offers promotional services of their own. One commenter wrote, "I wasn't aware you can pay Spotify to promote your songs. I'm not ever going to use any promoting, and now since I know Spotify has given me some promoted BS instead of actual recommendations, I will stop paying for them. Long live piracy." Kind of an overreaction because I don't think he realizes that even the recommendations are promotions, and it was even more corporate back in the day of CDs, cassettes, and vinyl, where everything in the record store was the product of a corporate label. But obviously, him and I don't see eye to eye. I would never recommend pirating music. It's actually a selfish perspective because pirating doesn't support artists at all. In fact, clicking on an ad and listening to an independent artist is one of the most rebellious things you can do because it's breaking from the corporate record label script of which artists are supposed to be in our ears and on the radio. So I think this commenter feels he's being cool by breaking the law and pirating music, but he's actually the worst type of fan an artist could want. Music promotion, especially from independent artists, is the way that introductions are made and relationships are sparked. Dizzy Parker hit it on the head when he commented, "You can guarantee through promotion that you'll get 10,000 streams, but you can't guarantee that people will enjoy your music ever." That's so true, and why it's crucial to understand that promoting your music is a relational act, not a transactional one. Promoting your music is a brand introduction, not a day zero ROI transaction. Think of it this way, every song that you release and promote is an icebreaker for a new relationship to your music catalog and your brand. And again, I showed you the stats of my last 3 promotions. Again, it's in the video linked right here. Not every song pulled the same amount of people because not every song promotes equally. Some songs are gathering songs and others promoted not so well because of the tempo, the beat, the introduction, the length of the verse, everything comes into play and needs to be tested. And so if you feel that introducing your music to new people is some kind of evil act, or that growing the awareness of your brand is somehow worse than pirating music, then you're probably suffering from a combination of these 3 broken mindsets that I covered today. Because if you understand that a day zero ROI is a short-term vision for your music, you aren't entitled to traffic and you need to secure it for yourself, and that each song is an icebreaker for new relationships, then you will have the correct approach to music marketing and you will have that long-term vision for success instead of a broken one. Real quick, I want to give you a free gift for hanging out with me today. It's my free course called the Spotify Playlist Marketing Manual. It's an easy to consume 60-minute free course that shows you the full roadmap going from 0 streams to your first 1,000 monthly listeners to over 25,000 and beyond. In this training, I reveal what Spotify actually wants to see from you to trigger the algorithm and get free streams every time you release a new song. And I also cover how to develop multiple streams of traffic to your Spotify, including playlists, so that you could get new listeners and song saves every single day. Look, these are the same things that me and my team do for our artists at the marketing agency, and I want to share them with you inside this free training. So if you want to build an effective marketing plan for your music, whether it's a new release or your existing catalog, this training is for you. It's completely free and you can get access instantly. Just register your spot by going to indiemusicacademy.com/playlists. Now back to our video. Guys, I hope this video was super helpful to you. If you want to see the results from real music promotion campaigns, go ahead and click this video right here, and I'll leave more in the description below for you to check out. Best of luck with your music, and I'll see you in a future video.